So in my role as an international student advisor, my focus is on employability. And one of the big areas that the university is concerned about is making sure that international students are accorded all the workplace rights that the Australian laws set out. And we know that there's been a big focus in the media in recent years that international students are a vulnerable group because they don't understand their workplace rights. And so my role is very focused on helping to educate students. Some of the key areas of exploitation that we hear about stem from students being desperate to actually find work. Australia's probably more expensive than they may have anticipated and budgeted for. So they get here and they have an overinflated sense of their need to work, and they probably have been told that, oh, it's easy to find employment. And so we're finding students often working for small businesses where they only need basic level skills to work, and particularly in hospitality and sales type of positions. And some of the exploitation that they tend to face is often financial. So many of them are underpaid and working considerably less than the minimum wage that they are entitled to. They don't understand perhaps that there is a minimum wage, and that they don't understand that there are various different rates of pay applicable depending on what you're doing and the hours and the days that you may be working. And it can be quite complex. So underpayment definitely is an issue. Some of the other things are trials, so they get being asked to do extended unpaid trials, working on training wages. They might be told that they have to pay for breakages, or if there are shortages in the till at the end of the night, they might be told that they've got to actually make those up, which again is not correct. There are other things like car accidents. We've had students involved in delivery work, and they might be involved in an accident, whether it's their fault or not. They've been asked to actually pay for the damages and things like that. So that would be some of the main areas of exploitation that I see in the workplace. Okay, so there is a big issue with international students not being aware of their workplace rights. So Fair Work Australia is a government-funded authority that is charged with promoting and educating people about their workplace rights, and they've got a really big campaign on at the moment about international student workplace rights. So they've produced a brochure, for example this one called A Guide to Starting a New Job by Fair Work Australia. There's also a whole lot of videos that explain workplace rights, and they're in a range of different languages. They've got some case studies and scenarios. At Swinburne we're really trying hard to educate students, so I run a job club twice a month, and we often talk about workplace rights. Once a semester I have someone from Fair Work Australia or from the International Student Legal Service come and speak to students about their workplace rights as well. So it's a big focus. Occasionally we hear about scams and significant issues, and so we will send out an alert to all students about that as well. But it's wider than a Swinburne issue, and it is something that all the groups who work with international students are aware of. So we're hoping that we're getting some traction, but because the student cohorts turn over all the time, it can be quite a systemic issue. Yeah, so migration is an interesting issue for universities. We're not allowed to give migration advice, full stop. Universities and education providers are not seen as the pathway to permanent residency, and we've got to be very careful of separating that. What we are able to tell students though is that if they want to follow up those processes, the Department of Home Affairs has very detailed information on their website about different visa options that are available. And the one visa that I do tell students about is the 485 post-study work visa. And once a semester, at the completion of studies seminar that we run for all students who are about to graduate, is we have an immigration consultant come in and speak about various options that they might like to investigate further. So that's sort of where we stop. My only other bit of advice would be to make sure that you see a migration consultant who is registered with MARA, which is the Migration Agents Registration Authority, MARA, and just they are meant to uphold certain procedures and protocols to make sure that you're getting advice that is genuine advice, because there are a lot of sharks out there and you've just got to be really careful